You ever have one of those moments where your life flips from suburban calm to, are you kidding me right now, in about 10 seconds flat? Because let me tell you, the day I watched my old canine partner sniff out the truth in Maple Grove Estates, it felt like every cliche about quiet neighborhoods just got set on fire right there in front of my retired cop eyes. I'm Marcus Sullivan, and if you'd told me 6 months ago that my biggest fight after 20 years on the force would be against an HOA president and a shed full of stolen stuff, I would have laughed you right off my porch. But here we are. It started like any other Tuesday, except for the police radio, crackling through the dispatcher's voice with enough urgency to make even a retired guy like me sit up straight. Dangerous dog, threatening residents at Maple Grove Estates. You know what I mean? My old partner, Titan, a German shepherd, built like a small tank, but with the patience of a saint, sat in the back seat of my truck, looking out the window with that let's get to work energy he never quite shook. We'd moved out here 3 months ago, trying to settle into a life where coffee was hot, neighbors waved, and nobody had to chase meth heads through alleys at 2 in the morning. Titan earned his rest same as me, or so I thought. Enter Karen Fitzgerald. If you've ever met a real-deal HOA president, the kind who clutches her clipboard like it's the sword of justice, you know the type. Karen didn't just enforce rules, she made it her personal mission to find ways you might be breaking them, even if you were just walking your dog, minding your business. First week, she spots Titan and gives me that tight-lipped smile, the kind that says, I'm about to ruin your day, but I want you to think I'm being neighborly. Such a large dog for our community, she'd say, eyes narrowing, already mentally measuring his paw prints. I do hope you're aware of the pet policy, Mr. Sullivan. Leashed at all times, muzzled silent between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. I tried to explain real gentle how Titan was a retired K9 certified calm good with kids hell. I even showed her his medal and the letter from my old chief. Karen just jotted something down on her clipboard and chirped, rules are rules even for former police dogs. And that's when the complaints started. Noise violations, except Titan hadn't made a sound. Intimidating the children, though those same kids had been laughing and petting him not 10 minutes earlier. Parents right there snapping photos for Instagram. Every week, Karen came by, clipboard in hand, eyes shining with that particular joy reserved for people who discover a new subclause to lord over their neighbors. I'm just looking out for everyone's safety, she'd say, syrupy sweet, but everybody could see through it. I was more annoyed than worried, honestly, until Titan started acting strange. Now, let me back up a sec. Titan's not a regular dog. He tracked down missing kids, sniffed out drugs, even once found a wedding ring buried in a landfill. So when he started paying special attention to Karen's backyard nose, working overtime, ears up, body on alert, well, my cop instincts kicked in. Not aggressive, not the usual squirrel distraction, just focused, laser sharp. I figured maybe she had a cat, but he never tried to chase it, just lingered, snuffed around the hedges every time we passed. Things escalated the night of Tom's barbecue. Tom's the kind of neighbor who's always got your back, invites everyone over, flips burgers like he's auditioning for Food Network. That night, folks started talking. First, it was Tom, then the Johnsons. Then everybody seemed to have a story. Missing garden tools, hoses, a mountain bike, even a whole patio set gone. And get this, the cops had come out a couple times, but nothing ever came of it. No prints, no witnesses, just stuff disappearing into thin air. People were starting to get real jumpy. The next morning, I take Titan out for our usual loop. He's tense body rigid the way he'd get before a bust back in the day. Before I can say a word, he's off bolting straight for Karen's backyard, ignoring every command. My heart's pounding because this dog never breaks training, never. He stops at her shed, sits, nose pointed right at the padlock tail, giving that I found something wiggle I hadn't seen in years. That sit is what put 100 bad guys behind bars, so I trust it, even as Karen comes flying out of her house shrieking like the world's ending. Get that beast off my property right now, she's screaming, phone in one hand, waving her arm around for dramatic effect. I'm calling 911, this is harassment. Your dog is out of control. I try to keep my cool, call Titan back. Apologize, explain. He only reacts like that when there's something big. Karen's face goes purple. Are you threatening me? Mr. Sullivan, accusing me of something. I'll have your dog gone so fast. She's dialing before I finish my sentence. And let me tell you, the 911 call she made, Academy Award material. Rabid animal trying to break into my shed. I fear for my life. I just wait, hand on Titan's collar, knowing sooner or later, the truth's got to come out. Officer Martinez and Officer Chen pull up hands close to their holsters until they see Titan sitting calm, not a peep out of him. I introduce myself, lay out my credentials, explain Titan's history and that alert at the shed. Karen's shouting the whole time, "I don't care who you are, this is my property. That dog is a menace." Officer Chen, cool as you like, asks to see inside the shed. Karen's voice cracks. "Absolutely not. You need a warrant. I'll sue." And that's when Tom comes jogging over from next door, phone out, kind of breathless, waving for attention. "You'll want to see this," he says, and plays security footage from his backyard camera night vision. Shaky but clear enough. There's Karen dragging a bike across the lawn, slipping it into her shed, then another clip garden tools, then furniture. The officers look at each other. Martinez sighs. "Ma'am, based on this footage and the canine alert, we have probable cause. Please unlock the shed." And that's the exact moment when Karen's mask drops. 1 second she's the queen of Maple Grove, next she's shaking, sputtering eyes, darting like a trapped animal. "You can't do this, I know my rights." But Officer Chen's already calling for backup and bolt cutters. The sound of that lock snapping echoed across the yard. I swear. Door swings open and there it is, a dragon's horde of stolen neighborhood goods. Bikes, stacked tools, lined up furniture, piled on furniture, half the missing stuff folks have been griping about for months. And on the back wall, this one still gets me. There's a pegboard with keys, each labeled addresses written in Karen's neat handwriting. Keys to garages, sheds, even gates. My neighbor Jessica whispers, "She had our mailbox key." Handcuffs come out. Karen's still babbling. "I was just keeping things safe. People are careless. I was going to return everything. I'm the HOA president." Officers read her rights. Neighbors start crowding around, some filming, some just gawking. Me. I'm standing there with Titan, feeling like maybe all those years chasing bad guys meant something even in retirement. Cops haul Karen off her protest, getting fainter the farther she gets from her clipboard. Titan's tail thumps the ground. Yeah, that happened. The crowd is buzzing, stories pouring out about Karen's leadership, the fines, the selective rule enforcement, the gossip and threats. Turns out everyone had a story. Everyone had lost something. Nobody ever thought the mighty Karen was actually behind it all. The police investigation blows the whole thing wide open. She'd been copying keys during her HOA inspections, then helping herself to whatever she fancied. 50 grand in stolen goods, they said. At the arraignment, she's standing there defiant at first, but when the judge announces 15 years if convicted, she crumples, finally gets it, her little kingdom is done. Funny thing is, after all, that the neighborhood actually felt lighter. People started talking again, hosting block parties, letting their dogs run a little freer. Titan, well, he got more belly rubs than he'd ever had on the force. But here's the kicker. Some folks still argue whether Karen was pure evil or just went off the rails trying to protect the neighborhood. And every now and then someone wonders if she was working alone, or if there's more HOA drama lurking under the surface. So let me throw this to you. If you saw something like that going down on your street, would you speak up or keep your head down? Ever tangled with an HOA tyrant? Drop your story or opinion in the comments. Because honestly, I think everyone's got a little Maple Grove in their past, and the way we deal with it says a lot about who we are and what justice really means in a community.